verse 11, Krishna begins to speak. Though you are speaking learned words, you lament for that which is not worthy of grief. Those who are truly learned lament not for the living nor for the dead. So it's very interesting that Krishna is starting at such a high point in the Bhagavad Gita. A lot of devotees say, oh, Bhagavad Gita is introductory knowledge. But that introduction is already at such a high level. Literally, you read these next few verses. It's okay, just leave it. Narayani's just jumping. She's excited. Keeping us alert. Good job, Narayani. On your toes. You're welcome. So, Krishna is starting at such a high level. Truly, if you think about it, those who are truly learned do not lament for the living or the dead. He's not just saying don't care if people die. He's saying even if they're alive, don't lament. It's very interesting. So we're going to read through these verses quickly and then try to soak it in. It's not required. Haribo. So we're going to try to read through about 10 of these verses, and then, on your own time, if you want to go deeper into, you can read the purports. Like I said, we're going to try and do this whole Bhagavad Gita in under a month and learn about 30 verses. So we're going to go through it like steadily, and you can read the purports, and I'm going to try and focus on the essence. Natvevaham jatu nasam natvam ne me janadipa na chaiva na bhavishyama sarve vayam ataparam. It's a very nice verse to learn. We're not going to memorize this one today, but some have already memorized it. Very interesting thing Krishna says now. Never was there a time when I did not exist, nor you, nor all of these kings, nor in the future shall any of us cease to be. So he was smiling in the beginning, and now he's trying to give confidence. Look at the big picture. Sometimes in life, we need to be able to look at the big picture, not lose the forest for the trees. So he's saying, Arjuna, you're talking about like from the perspective of an ant. You're looking at all these little problems. Zoom out a bit. We're all eternal souls. Do not lament neither for the living nor the dead, because the soul has not truly yet been born until we awaken into higher spiritual consciousness. Therefore, whether alive or dead, in the material existence, we are cycling in this birth and death existence. We are neither born nor dead. We are just in this dormant state, waiting to be born spiritually. So Krishna is saying, try to take spiritual birth. Janmadasya yata is the first instruction. Atata brahma jigyasa. Uttishta, rise up. Wake up. Get out of dull material consciousness. Actually, we are eternal. Natvevaham. Never was there a time when we did not exist in the past. So first he's addressing now in the past. In the past, there was never a time when you, or all these kings were non-existing. Nor in the future shall we ever cease to be. So even if everybody is killed, as they will be killed, Krishna later on says that it is impossible for anything that has come into being in this world to exist here eternally. It is impossible. Anything that has come into being in this world must pass out of the manifest existence in this world. So Krishna says, Avyaktadini bhutani, that which was unmanifest in this world now becomes manifest. And then after its death becomes unmanifest again, and then re-manifest in a different state. Therefore, those who are intelligent understand this. Nasato vidyate bhavo. Again, we're coming up to this verse. Nasate, this is one of Param Gurudev's favorite verses. Nasato vidyate bhavo. That which is temporary can never be eternal. And that which is eternal can never be temporary. Therefore, do not be bewildered by this, and do not lament. Dehinosmin yata dehe komaram jovanam jara tata dehantara praptir dirastatra namuyati. Understand that the soul is transmigrating from one form of life to another on the winds of its karma, its activities, and where it applies its consciousness. We are traveling on these cosmic winds. Therefore, we pray to Gurudev, "Oh Gurudev, please pick me up out of the turmoil of the storm of samsara and place me in your pocket and offer me to Sri Radha Krishna." Until that time, we are floating in this existence. And Krishna gives the example. Like the soul is, what is the soul? He's trying to get more concrete now. One nice thing about the Shastra and Krishna is that he doesn't just speak in generic, generalized terms. A lot of people, a lot of spiritual teachers just speak in very vague terms that sounds very charming and very universal and very liberal, and it makes people feel good. And then when they get concrete things, oh, God has a form and he's a blue and he plays a flute and he has many girlfriends. They don't like it so concrete. No. Let it be very vague so I can feel good and I can continue to enjoy in this world without realizing or trying to follow my true spiritual dharma. So Krishna is getting specific, not just saying there's some immaterial thing out there that is called like the Atma. He's saying, now look, the soul becomes embodied, dehina. The body is the deha, the soul is the embodied soul, dehinosmin. As it passes through stages of life, from boyhood to youth to old age, similarly at the time of the karma for this body being complete, the soul will pass on to another existence. Therefore, do not lament. Next verse. Matra sparashastu konteya shitoshna sukha dukada agama paino nityastangstatikshasva bharataha. Now he's telling him some kind of advice that can help you be free of lamentation. So he says the body is the vehicle of the soul. The senses are like the horses. The body is like a chariot. The senses are able to drive us here and there. But he's saying, so there's deha, the body, the soul is the dehi, embodied soul. And then matra sparshas. Matra means the senses. And it means the senses with their objects. So the eyes, the ears, the sense of smell, taste, touch. When they come in contact, sparsha, with the objects of the senses, then they start to experience the duality of material life. Heat and cold, sita ushna, sukha dukkha, happiness and distress, winter and summer. He gives this example. Happiness and distress are like the passing of seasons. Sometimes even in the summer a storm comes, and in the winter you have some good days. But it's like the passing of seasons. So therefore, an intelligent person does not say, "Fie on the winter." They can go to Florida. And in the hot summer, they can go somewhere else. But what's the point of being like fie on nature? It's something bigger than you. You're not able to change it. You should accept it. You can change it by changing your environment, changing your association. But if you're not changing anything, then what is your right to complain about it all the time? So Krishna says, the engagement of the senses with their objects creates the experience of happiness and distress and all the dualities of life that come with that. The mind has two functions, sankalpa, vikalpa, accepting, rejecting. I like this, I don't like that. And then we think this is my friend, this is my enemy. All when we are bound by illusion. So Krishna says a wise person tolerates this.